up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the G Show podcast. I am G1, and this is the very first episode of G1 and Z1 show. The G1 and Z1 show. So that right there, introductions are out of the way. Obviously, guess who's joining me right now? None other than my Civ from another crib, GAM GAM Z1. What the hell's going on?
What's up, man? What's up? It's been a long time. First podcast of 2023 that involves me.
It's true. And this is the first episode of our G1 and Z1 show. Hopefully this thing will become a thing where we, rock more than normal.
Yes, definitely.
But this whole podcast came about because the other day when we did the Godzilla block party, unfortunately, Gam Gam couldn't get on due to work. And Gam Gam had a lot to say. So I said, I'll tell you what. Why don't you save it? Why don't you save it for the masses? Why don't you tell it to the people instead of just me, JR, and Chase? Why don't you just hold it in and I will give you a platform for which you can spew whatever you choose to spew. So that being said, the introductions are out of the way. The floor is yours.
All right. So getting the hype out of the way, I'd like to start with the Gam Gam part of the Gam Gam Z1 in my title with the Gamera show. Oh boy. I have some hopes and some dreams because this is my boy coming back for the first time since 2006, my guy.
Wow.
If we're not even counting that teaser, that flick on the tip, that was that short 3-minute whatever that was. I still want that, but we're getting an anime instead, which is cool. Still getting deep into that rivalry because that's what Godzilla's doing right now is anime. Right. So why not the main competition get in on it as well? And is it confirmed that it's in the Heisei continuity, or is anything confirmed?
I don't think anything's confirmed outside of 6 episodes and 7 or 8 monsters, however many there was supposed to be.
Isn't it supposed to be like a monster of the week, kind of like every episode Gamera fights and defeats another monster or something like that?
I want to say yes, but I'm also going to say that I have not paid attention because I don't want to know too much.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
And usually, we would have information just blown up in our feed because Brother Chase is usually on his shit. So he's on the game when it comes to that. So now, honestly, all I know is that Gauss is confirmed. It's in one of the posters.
Of course.
And it's animated, and it's on Netflix. And after Singular Point, not even after Singular Point and Pacific Rim the Black, the sky's the limit for kaiju and anime on Netflix, in my personal opinion.
Oh, yes. Heck yes. And I bring up the Heisei continuity specifically because, we've only ever gotten the 3 monsters that we got in the trilogy, Gauss, Legion, and Iris. And 2 of those monsters are exclusive to that trilogy. And I've always wanted to see Heisei universe renditions of the classic monsters, Giron and Jiger and all that. And I'd love to see if that is what this show is going to become.
Oh my God. Could you imagine it does take place right after Incomplete Struggle? Fire Beast on Gamera versus a flock of Gauss. Maybe that's why Gauss is the first poster, because that's a throwaway monster. It's not even going to be a big bad. I swear I love that idea. I want to see Baragon. I want to see an updated version of Baragon.
Yes.
I know there's a manga. I know they made a manga a long time ago, and I think it was a sequel. I can't even tell you because I don't know, but I've seen images and I was like, I want that. But I would love that. I would also love if they kind of merged the Heisei saga with whatever that proof of concept trailer was and go from there.
Yeah, even introduce, like I heard in the podcast, because I did listen to the podcast at least a little bit.
Thank you.
That black hole making monster from the teaser being in the show, because that's a cool ass monster, and we only saw a little bit of it.
Yes, and with the Heisei series too, I mean that Gamera had some. That Gamera has some features to it, man. I mean, think about it. The mana chest blast in its own is something fantastic. I mean, they did kind of do a little something like that with the Brave, where, you know, the old Gamera self-destructed. I don't want to see Gamera self-destruct, but I like that idea. I like the idea of, like, it has an end game, a kill switch, if you will. I don't want to see that for Heisei Gamera, if that was the case for this show. What do you think? He still has a missing limb, or regeneration's in play here? Mecha Gamera?
I mean, I would assume that, kind of like a lot of kaijus, Gamera probably would have some form of regeneration, probably not as fast as, say, Orgas or anything like that.
Okay.
But, you know, he goes to sleep for like 5 years and, you know, got a new arm good as new.
I'd like to think that he goes inside of his shell and there's a workshop, and he handles the. Matter of fact, I got this crazy ass idea. You ready for this crazy notion? All right, we know Gamera is from Atlantis, right, or something similar to Atlantis, an ancient lost city that was technologically advanced, right? So what say Gamera goes in his shell, and his shell is the housing to another dimension. And when he goes in his shell, bam, he gets his arm fixed. I just random crazy sci-fi that can
random work. Crazy sci-fi. I mean, he goes in his shell to turn himself into a UFO. I mean, the sky's the limit.
I'm telling you, and there's no way Gamera doesn't come out dizzy from all of that spinning. So I'm pretty sure that it's like the TARDIS or that Harry Potter stuff. You go in, it's a lot bigger in the inside. So Gamera goes in, he's like, all right, load off my back, and he gets in the control center. The ship is spinning around him. He's stationary. He's guiding that motherfucker. He knows what he's doing.
He's the guy at the center of that merry-go-round thing at the state fair.
Exactly. That's exactly what Gamera is. He's doing his damn thing. Man, we're having fun with Gamera. I can't lie. But the possibilities of all of this exaggerated fiction is plausible when you're messing with Gamera, because Gamera has taken some cool concepts, especially in the Heisei series. It's taken some cool concepts and run with it. And really,
yes,
I mean,
definitely.
honestly,
and when it comes to sheer quality, right? Now here comes the big question. We both love Singular Point, and you love the Heisei Godzilla series, but even you have to admit that the Heisei Gamera series stomps all over the Heisei Godzilla series. Do you think that this has the potential to be better than Singular Point?
Yes, and I will tell you why. With the exception of that episode 10, you know I will never ever... Man, listen, somebody say that shit at my death as a eulogy. With the exception of that episode 10, that final 5 minutes of episode 10, when fucking Godzilla becomes the Ultima form, and the music hits, and it's the greatest Godzilla moment in the history of Godzilla, period. It's so pounding, it's great. There's 17 different Godzilla roars in that one roar. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. It is absolutely perfection caught on fucking tape, on film. It's the best. With the exception of that, I did enjoy Singular Point. It is really wacky with the concepts, and it really blows my brain. Some of that stuff is out of control. I think Gamera will be more refined and will give us some kick-ass monster action. So I think it would, especially if it's the Heisei series and they're doing a continuation, and I mean a legit story continuation, then yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, that Gamera trilogy is like honestly, it's like the second best trilogy I've ever seen in my life after Star Wars. Hands down. Hands down. And the weakest one is the first one.
I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, and the weakest one is the first one, and I love the first one. I love Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. But fucking Advent of Legion and Revenge of Iris, like,
Those are the GOAT.
Yeah, spectacles. I mean, that is the pinnacle of kaiju filmmaking. Pinnacle. And to this day, nothing has come close to that. The quality, kills me.
And Gamera 2 in particular, at least for me, has two qualities to it depending on how you watch it, because I both like to watch it in its original Japanese format, but I also like to watch specifically the redneck dub of Gamera 2.
I could never do that. I could never. That is blasphemy. Blasphemous.
The redneck dub is the GOAT.
No, absolutely not. That is blasphemy. Let me tell you something. I almost never bought those, the official versions, the official Blu-ray versions of Gamera, that Gamera trilogy, because of those dubs. Like, I was like, no. But because I love those movies so much, then I had the Japanese bootlegs. I had them. Hell, my buddy who got a Gamera tattoo on his arm, G2, he actually got the fucking dope-ass DVD box set before Blu-ray was a thing of the Gamera trilogy.
Oh,
and it is, dude, it's gorgeous. It's fucking gorgeous. Like, I would cut my arm off like Gamera just to have that damn box set. It was dope. But yeah, no, that shit to me, blatant disrespect, absolutely out of bounds, uncalled for. Oh,
whatever, man.
Breaks my heart.
You'd have to have been there when I first watched it on a friggin' live stream. I forget who was live streaming it at the time. They were a friend of mine, and it was a magical moment watching that redneck dub. It was like watching Gamera 2 abridged, but they didn't actually cut any of the content out.
Oh no, I could never. That movie's dare I say, it is one of the masterpiece. It's a master class, I should say. It's a master class. That movie had a great story. One of the better alien invasions in a kaiju movie. I really did like the characters. Like, I did. Like, I'm not supposed to care for any of these people except for, homegirl that came back from the first movie. But I'm loving these people. I'm loving them. I love them.
Oh yeah.
I love them. And then the special effects, so good. They're so good. The miniature work is some of the best in just kaiju, period.
Some of Shinji Higuchi's best work.
Serious.
Out of his entire career.
And it's unreal what they pulled off with that movie. And then Kaneko is an explosion freak. Like, before the Gamera trilogy, he actually had a movie, I forgot the name of it, but I always pictured it like the Japanese version of Firestarter. The old Drew Barrymore movie. But this dude was just blowing shit up all over the place. I never seen it. I seen the trailer for it, and I was like, that's a nice explosion. That's a nice explosion. I just love giant fucking orange fireballs, And that Gamera 2, there is some gorgeous explosions, man. Gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
And then again, the Legion monster, that is a beautiful design. I love that thing. Same thing with Iris. Iris looks beautiful intentionally. Legion looks alien, but like I can't wrap my
Legion to me is an even greater accomplishment than even Biollante, because Legion, there's a person in it, whereas Biollante is just a puppet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Biollante is one hell of a gorgeous monster, though. Listen, that design, that final. Yeah, I'll even give it to the Rose, but that final Biollante design, man, that is
I'm not knocking Biollante. I just think Legion is just far more interesting because there's a person in that walking around in it.
Oh, God, I love it so much. But yeah, if this animated series is anything like that, if it comes close to the quality of that, it's going to be fantastic. Now, here, let me ask you a question. I know you would probably rather that. Would you be disappointed if it kind of went campy, a la the Showa series after Gauss?
Now, if it went full Showa, like with children and everything, I would just kind of accept it at that point, because that's what Gamera has been for the majority of the franchise. You gotta look inside and say to yourself, yeah, the trilogy is kind of an outlier when it comes to the franchise as a whole. The trilogy and Barugon are the outliers. Everything else has a kid involved or multiple kids involved. And Gamera's always been the friend of all children. So if they go the friend of all children route, screw it. Let's just get drunk and enjoy it. You know?
Yep. All right. I'm with you there. I'm with you. I got it. Gamera in space, guardian friend of all space children. Just give me that. Yes. There we go. You want to get crazy? That's what I want to see. I want to see Gamera befriending alien children. That's what I want to see. They hook them up with the special technology to fight the big bads. No, let me stop. Well, all right. Because it seems it's going to be Monster of the Week and not that one giant story like Singular Point was.
Mm-hmm.
Does that? The question was on right there at the tip of my tongue. Like, how do you feel about that? Basically, are you okay with that? That like Ultraman style? Here we go. One monster gone. Next episode.
I mean, Monster of the Week formula has been a tried and true formula for many, many years. Ultraman is a good example. Even Godzilla the series and the Hanna-Barbera cartoon,
that's right,
are a good example of that. And yeah, anime is mostly known for ongoing narratives. Like look at anything like Chainsaw Man for a recent example. But if they do go the episodic route, I mean, I could just look at it as a half-hour-long kaiju movie condensed into a single episode.
Yeah. I hope that's not the case. I doubt that's the case. Again, it's under the Netflix banner, and any anime I've watched under the Netflix banner so far has been really good.
Oh, yeah. Netflix is mostly known for wanting their users to binge their shows. So to make it more bingeable, a singular narrative across episodes is probably the better way to go if you want to binge it.
I think you just cracked the code. It can't be anything less than a narrative, because you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's all about the binging. That's why I can't stand, like, and I get it. They want to do things different from Netflix because Netflix is the standard bearer, right? But like when you look at HBO Max right now, Disney Plus, you got The Last of Us on HBO Max, you've got The Mandalorian coming out on Disney Plus, and those are, week to week. Tune in next week. But damn it, I forgot what happened last week. You know what I mean? Like, what I missed? I might have went to the bathroom when Joel was saying something to Ellie real quick. I don't know. I do love the binging. I love it. That, to me, that's why I wait with certain shows. I don't go rush out to watch a show. I'll wait till it finishes and then binge watch it. I give it that 3-episode tried and true. If it ain't got me yet, I'm done.
Yeah, I live by that as well.
Yeah, that's the way to go, right? And honestly, it saved me a lot of time. It saved me a lot of time for some pretty. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't give Amazon's Lord of the Rings 30 minutes. Like, literally. I think I was 20.
About what I expected.
Yeah, I was like 20 minutes in, and I was like, I can't do this no more. I just can't.
I refuse to even give Velma a single minute of my time.
So, quite interesting with that. I haven't watched it. I won't watch it. I won't. And it's nothing to do with online reaction or that generation, the online, that doesn't bother me, right? I personally went and watched Velma because I hate that animation style. I don't like it. And these are characters based off of Scooby-Doo, but where the fuck is the talking dog? That's all I'm asking.
There is no dog.
There's no Scoobs. So I mean, it just, and it again, and it's one of those things where, you got to watch what you say around talking about this show. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you shouldn't have to watch what you say. You shouldn't have to. Because the reason why these people made this show was to throw it in people's faces that go on the internet and bitch and moan and complain and, you know what I'm saying, go on. All I'm saying is, it ain't for me. I ain't gonna watch it. You know?
Pretty much same.
But I will say, I have been enjoying people who I thought would absolutely love that show doing reaction videos to that show and hating it. It just tickles me. It tickles the evil side of me. You know? It's like, oh yeah, no, nice. I'm like, this person is totally gonna love this. I hate it. Wow. You know? Like, all right. But yeah.
But now that we got the Gamera out of the way, time to call out the fandom again.
Uh-oh.
With their shit.
I swear to God, I just said I don't do this, and here we go doing it.
Damn. So here's some background on me personally when it comes to this topic, right? Uh-huh. Back in 2012, 2013, I was directly involved with an ongoing war that involved the Wikizilla people and this other guy from Sweden about the naming conventions of the 1998 creature that happened to be in a movie called Godzilla.
Okay. Oh boy. I've never heard the story, people.
And this was an ongoing war that spanned multiple websites, YouTube, Wikizilla's own chats, DeviantArt, a bunch of places. This was bad. We got Matt Frank involved in this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it was a thing. While everybody else was sitting around being hyped for the legendary Godzilla movies, we were in this corner just having a freaking lame war about a name of an iguana. And so we all came to the conclusion that anything that's depicting the creature specifically from the 1998 movie or the cartoon, that's still Godzilla. And anything from 2004 onwards is Zilla. And then here comes... what the hell's that toy company?
Spiral Studios.
Spiral Studios. Yeah, here comes Spiral Studios with this statue that's clearly depicting the 1998 version because it's not based on terrible CGI from a 2004 Japanese production.
Terrible? What are you talking about? That was class act, grade A, 100% Japanese CGI. Come on.
They scanned a toy, all right?
Oh, damn, that's fucked up.
They scanned a toy to make that CGI model, all right? So, but this statue is clearly based on the 1998 thing, and they called it Zilla. And it's now sparked up the debate all anew, even getting Wikizilla involved once again. This time it's just condensed onto Twitter.
Oh, okay. I don't have a Twitter page, so I couldn't. I wouldn't.
I do have Twitter. I see these things. The fandom had a meltdown, man, and I'm just sitting here like, all right, I am now 29 years old. This movie is almost 30 years old.
Oh my God. No, it's not.
As well.
No, oh my God, it is.
Yeah. And I have reflected on my past actions within the fandom, and I'm just sitting here like, you know what? Why do you even care? Why does anybody even care at this point? They can name it whatever they want. The movie happened.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I can't be wasting my energy on this anymore. I can look at what's happening on Twitter and laugh and not get involved. And that's what I've been mostly doing. but at the same time, it's like they have nothing better to do with their lives.
Well,
other than hyper focus on the name of a radioactive reptile.
Irradiated reptile. This is different. It's different. That's not a radioactive reptile. It's irradiated. It is a mutation. It's definitely not Godzilla. Okay, let's put it up there. I get you. It's funny that you said, I was one of the first motherfuckers to start this damn war way back when. And now the OG's sitting back, putting their feet up, looking at the Twitter feed like, puffing on a cigar. I love it. That's you. That's you right now. Here's my take with all of this. I love it when Godzilla fans go crazy about things like this. The reason why I do is because if you are such that passionate about Godzilla, then do what I do. Take some of the movies, take those movies, Toho produced movies, into consideration and make it canon. Let's start with exhibit number 1. GMK. Wasn't that Godzilla? No, that's what the Americans said. It was just some iguana. It was just some lizard. That right there solved everything for me. That was it. That was the end of the day. End of story. Use that. Take that 1998 movie, and Toho has acknowledged it as not being Godzilla. End of story. That, for me personally, I was like, oh, okay, I love it. Thank you, Toho. With the one throwaway line, they acknowledged it. And they told every single fanboy and girl who gets mad at it, don't worry, that wasn't Godzilla. End of story. End of fucking story. Then Toho goes one better 2 movies later. 3 movies later. It was 2 movies. After 2 movies.
3 movies.
3 movies later. And he said, not only was that not Godzilla, we're going to fuck with the fanboy. We're just going to name it Zilla. We're going to just Zilla. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you the true king of the monsters handling the business. And they did. And it was glorious. And they had that awesome Sum 41 song playing. We're all to blame. Because fandom, we are all to blame. It's our fucking fault for this. It's not the movie producers. They put out a movie. That's what they get paid to do. We went to see it. We bitch, moaned, and complained. And when the internet became a fucking thing, everybody's just going fucking Ebert. Stop it. Stop it. Toho has acknowledged it twice. And both times Toho has acknowledged it, it worked. It really did. So this absolute fracas over a name right now, I don't mind. Toho said that thing is called Zilla. So that statue that Spiral Studios put out, that's Zilla. And let me tell you something. I want it. I absolutely want it.
Oh, same. But I mean, I was even going to bring this up, right? Half of the people who are complaining about this admittedly probably genius move on Spiral Studios' part, because let me tell you how Toho handles their fucking copyrights for a minute, right? They could have named that statue Godzilla 1998, just like X Plus did with their little Defo reel, right?
Right.
But the rights to Godzilla from Toho are more expensive than the rights to other monsters, and Zilla just happens to be, now because of Final Wars and things like the IDW comics, a different monster. So to get around that and make the licensing cost a little bit cheaper, maybe that's why they named it Zilla, but still made it look like the 1998 Godzilla. But also, gonna say this, because it's a Spiral Studio statue, half these people who are bitching and moaning in the reply tweets right now can't even afford the fucking thing. Because it's over $1,000.
Yeah. So Spiral Studios, that is the studio. That is the studio, and I'm talking to you as a collector. And I know you and Shin Rob, y'all have a collector's crew going on, so you would know this more than I do. But Spiral Studios is also the studios that make those fantastic busts for Godzilla vs. Kong, correct?
Yes, and they're also doing doing a MonsterVerse collection where they're doing like all the Titans, Behemoth, Zilla, Methuselah, all of them, dude.
Okay, so there's a toy store that I found where my daughter's birthday, late January. We go to this toy store. It's called Brad's Toy Store. Shout out to Brad's Toy Store. And this place is huge. And the first thing I see was, look, I finally got him out of the box too, by the way. The Godzilla, the Mondo Godzilla versus Spiralzilla. Yup. Finally took him out of the box, put him up. That's the first thing I see. So I walk over to it. I'm like, I'm admiring it. I'm like, damn, that's just, it does look good out the box. Like, I love this thing. Guy comes over to me. He goes, you think that's cool? Let me show you something. He takes me to this fucking glass case. It says, do not touch. And there it is. The Godzilla bust from Godzilla vs. Kong. With the fucking... It is the most gorgeous thing in the world. This thing is gigantic, too. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, and it's the one with Godzilla's temple in the back.
With a Godzilla there at the top of the steps? Yes.
Yeah.
Lights up. It's gorgeous. It's $1,600. And I said, y'all guys got a layaway plan? I want it. I told my wife and everything. I want it. I want it. Where am I going to put it? She asked me that very same question. I said, I can sleep on the floor. I'll put it on the bed. I don't care. Let it be comfortable. I've got zero problems. It is gorgeous. So, Spiral Studios' attention to detail is unreal. To own this Zilla statue, just to go over that thing with a magnifying glass and look at every nook and cranny on this thing, because I'm pretty sure they went all in for $1,100 bucks.
They actually used references from both the animatronics from the 1998 movie and the CGI files from the 1998 movie. They got permission from Sony to use these things.
Oh, God bless
as
you.
reference.
God bless you, Sony. As I wear my Japanese Spider-Man shirt, hopefully he's in the next Spider-Verse movie. I'm just saying, you know what I want, Sony. You know what I want. Wanted it the first one. But God bless Sony for that. This thing is amazing. Honestly, I had no idea this was going to be a thing. I never in a million years would I think there's going to be something that actually rivals, hear me out, Bandai's Ultimate Godzilla. Because I had that.
Oh yeah.
I had that Ultimate
and that was the figure. That was the figure that they used to make the CGI for Zilla in Vital Wars.
Oh shit! You say that, and I see it. I see it so much. It's so clear. Oh my! Fuck you, Gam Gam. Fuck you. I totally see it. But see, yeah, but again, and that's what what's in a name? What really is in the name? Toho has again acknowledged it twice. Let's not get angry about it, and let's go get a job so we can all go and purchase it.
Exactly. And literally, even if it was named Godzilla 1998, I could foresee it. The reply tweets would just be full of people calling it Gino.
Absolutely. 100% absolutely. So, to me, it's not about the name. It's about the quality of the actual statue. And that thing is absolutely gorgeous. And I cannot wait to see more. And if Mr. Brad from Brad's Toy Store gets that thing, my man, here's my money.
I'm just saying it's probably going to go up on Awesome Collector for payment plans. So that's what I might do. I don't know.
And and that ain't bad either. That's not a bad deal, bro. Not a bad deal. But I do, man. Listen, I almost bought me a damn Kong, MonsterVerse Kong from SH Monster Arts for like $60-something or something at Brad's Toy Store. I was like, oh. But what I do now is.
Personally, I would actually wait for the Hyatt Toys to get into his toy store.
Okay. All right.
The Hyatt Toys Kong is actually immaculate. I really want it. I want to get the Hyatt Toys everything right now because they're so good.
Okay. I'll hold out then. Because when I go there now, I've just been getting the Super 7 stuff. I've been spending like $17 a pop. I don't care. One of them is like $20 a pop. But I've got a couple. I found the glow-in-the-dark Rodan. I was like, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it. So I mean, yeah,
I feel that.
It's bad. I told my wife, I think they're going there today. My daughter's trying to get a job there. I was like, I can't go because I'm gonna come out $200 broke. Can't do it. Can't do it. They even got a nice Transformer section, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, the that Zilla statue, that 98, whatever you want to call it, that American Sony TriStar monster, Spiral Studios knocked it out of the park. So let's not fight about the name. Let's go.
Please, for the love of
For
God,
the love of God.
Just do what I did and just buy the 4K of the movie and just not take it out of the cellophane wrap.
Ooh, I did that, but I also watched it, so I can't. I can't lie. I enjoy the shit out of that movie. When you can watch that movie and know that that is not Godzilla, it is an absolute romp. It's an absolute romp. It's cheesy. It's bad. It's everything. It's everything.
It's a Roland Emmerich movie.
Exactly. It's everything a cheesy monster movie should be. They nail it. They nail it. And I'll probably get slack for this. The jokes in that movie are better than the jokes in King of the Monsters. 100%.
I mean, you're not wrong, though.
Right? 100%.
The jokes in King of the Monsters are cringe.
It's so cringe. Oh, bro.
The one thing that I will always agree with you on when it comes to that movie.
I had recently rewatched all of Michael Bay's Transformer movies. Oh, man. Oh man!
Now you know where King of the Monsters got its humor from.
Oh yeah, I was like, and there's and honestly, some of them I've seen some of them that I absolutely hated. Like I saw in a different light this time around. It's kind of like how I came about with Shin Godzilla, but Shin Godzilla blows these movies out of the water. Okay, as its own thing. But I was like, oof, this ain't right. This is not right. Like who the fuck thought this was gonna be a good idea? I digress. But I will say that fourth Transformer movie was actually better than I remembered it being. A lot better. I really dug it.
Yeah. Age of Extinction was probably the best out of them.
You think so?
Tied with the first.
Wow. What about the third? I actually dug the third one. You know what it was with the third one? It's that Chicago sequence. It's
the Chicago sequence is nice, but
it's not only it's
the rest of it.
It's brutal. I dug the rest of it. It's the jokes. It's the goofy Transformers and the jokes. There's no room for the goofy Transformers. You can have cool Transformers trying to make jokes. They would have done jazz right in the first one. Maybe we would have been on to something. But the problem with the third one was Optimus Prime. Like, I'm killing everybody. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Chill
That's
out.
Completely out of Optimus Prime's character.
Yeah, like, come on. Slow down, Michael Bay. Optimus Prime is not like that. He's a great leader and a great warrior. Thanks for showing that. But there's always a reason for it, so stop. But I digress. Look at the tangent I went on a Transformers run. Oh, my God.
Hey, I like Transformers, too. It's fine. We could jiggle with that. But there is one more thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Speaking of buying things.
Uh-huh.
I don't know your history or any of that with this game, but my COVID game was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Because I love Dragon Ball Z, and that game was coming out just at the right time, right before the lockdown and all that. And, I had that, plus Doom Eternal, but it was mostly Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And it's probably, in terms of retelling the story of Dragon Ball Z, my favorite Dragon Ball Z game. And it recently got the Bardock Alone Against Fate DLC, which is a retelling of the original Bardock Father of Goku special. And it kind of really blew me away with how well it retold that special. It's probably my favorite way to experience the story of that special now. Right, even above the actual watching the actual special itself. And I'll tell you, it's because they actually fleshed out Bardock's crew, and you actually got to know and appreciate them as characters before you know what happened.
Before Frieza destroys the planet Vegeta and kills everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
That. It's not perfect, of course. It's got the usual trappings that Kakarot has, where it has like tiers of cutscenes. You got the lowest tier where they're just standing there and you hear various blurbs and you don't hear any actual voice acting of what's being said. Then you got the second tier of cutscenes, which is the same thing, but you actually have actual voice acting of what's being said. Then you got the third tier, which is minimal animation with text boxes and not actual subtitles. And you know, it's a little higher quality. And then you got the actual like shot for shot remake, money shot, all the budget went into these kind of cutscenes for Kakarot. And you know, when it comes to judging how Kakarot does its gameplay and its cutscenes and its DLC and all that, you got to take that into account. And I feel like where they put the budget money shot cutscenes is the appropriate places to put those for the Bardock DLC. You got the shot of Bardock standing alone with the Frieza soldiers in the background facing Frieza. That's all there. You got Bardock charging against Doria's men on planet Meat after he finds his comrades, and like you get the scene where he's holding Tora's bandana and the blood comes and turns the white bandana red. That's all there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's all there.
Oh, shit.
And they put the budget where they needed to put the budget, and it led to a very solid 9 out of 10 experience. Again, the only thing holding it back is Kakarot's normal thing, where not every scene is that money shot because they only had so much budget to work with, and the fact that they didn't integrate any of Dragon Ball Minus's content. There's no Gine, Mother of Goku. There's no Bardock's not wearing any of his Dragon Ball Minus outfit. He's wearing his Father of Goku outfit. And Vegeta's mostly modeled after how it looked like in the 90s special and not the Broly movie.
Which Broly movie? The new one or the old one?
The new one.
Well, we can't count that. This is Dragon Ball Z, not Super.
But, like, that's the new canon. So that it brings up the point of now they're bringing in non-canon elements to this game that's supposed to bring in actual canon elements.
Wait a minute.
Because...
Okay, is Broly in that Kakarot game?
Broly is not in that in the game, but Beerus...
What?
Yeah, Beerus is in the first DLC that ever came out. Then the second DLC covered Resurrection of Frieza.
So they tell the story of Z in that one game, or is it broken up?
They tell the story of Z in that one game, and then the first DLC is Battle of Gods. The second DLC is Resurrection F, and the third DLC is the Trunks special.
The Future Trunks,
where
the Super Trunks?
Future Trunks special, you know, with Gohan, and he gets one arm. And the Trunks special even goes into the stuff that Trunks brought up in Super during the Goku Black arc.
Oh, okay.
AKA
So
Babidi showing up.
Okay, so it's the Z version of Future Trunks with elements of the Super version of Future Trunks sprinkled in.
Yes.
That's dope, bro. Oh my God, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Shit.
Yeah, and I would have thought that they would have sprinkled some of the Super content into this Bardock DLC, but they chose not to. And that's why I kind of had to knock it a peg, because it's just a straight adaptation of the 90s Bardock special.
So, all right, let me ask you, because in that Bardock special, Vegeta is, he's a kid, right?
Yes, he's a kid.
So his outfit should mimic what was in the 90s, right?
Well, yeah, it does.
Oh, all right, I see what you're saying, because they do the whole destruction scene of Planet Vegeta in the Super Series, in the movies.
Yeah, and in the Broly movie, they do that as well, and they reveal that in the new version of the Dragon Ball canon, thanks to Super and all that, that Vegeta and Goku are actually the same age, and in the Bardock special, Vegeta is clearly older than Goku.
Right. I mean, even in because Vegeta wasn't even there. No, I thought in Z they actually acknowledged that. That's crazy. I always liked Vegeta being a little bit older than Goku, though. I always did. Because he's like, I'm older, I'm dominant, I'm the prince, I'm the king of Saiyans, pretty much. Who the hell are you? I always love that. That's why I love Vegeta. That's my favorite character.
Oh yeah, my favorite character as well. And you know, I would have actually knocked a couple other points, but something in the Bardock special actually bumped it up a point, and it is after you get finished with Bardock's story, you actually get a little mini story where you play as Kid Vegeta.
What?
Taking over a planet while Bardock's making his final stand, and then Nappa gets the a call on a scouter saying that a meteor blew up planet Vegeta. Oh no!
Wow. So does this game have both Japanese and English cast doing the dub?
Yes, it does.
That's dope. See, I love that. That was one of those things that I loved about like the fighters too. Like,
and I will actually say I prefer playing Kakarot in Japanese because, well, the English voice actors kind of there is moments in Kakarot with the English dub where it's kind of cool, but most of the times when it comes to the English dub of Kakarot, I much think that they kind of phoned it in and didn't put nearly as much effort as they did into dubbing the actual show.
Right.
And it's because it's a video game, and that's fair, I guess. So I just prefer to play it in Japanese where I can't tell the difference.
They don't never phone nothing in, especially Goku's voice actress. She goes all in.
Is always a treat.
She goes in. I love that. I love her to death. I love her to death. That's a national icon. I'm not trying to claim her for America, but I'm claiming her. I'm just saying. No, I'm claiming her. I'm claiming her with the Japanese flag and the American flag. I'm claiming her. That voice actress. The emotion, and this is why I tell everybody, I only watch Dragon Ball subtitled. I can't watch it dubbed. I can't. Because the emotion she brings to that character, when Krillin dies and Goku loses it on Namek, the emotion that is in that sequence coming from her, man, goosebumps, chills, everything, hair standing up.
Not only that, her sheer range, because she plays practically the entire Son family.
Exactly. You're 100%. And it's crazy because you could actually hear the difference in each kid. In Goku,
yeah,
Gohan,
like
Goten.
She plays Goku very differently than she plays Gohan. She plays Goten very differently than she plays Bardock.
Right, I forgot she played Bardock. Oh my God, I forgot about that one. Man, listen, I remember the first time I saw Bardock, I watched it. It was then I got they did the actual OVA, but I was watching it. It was like, I think a CD-ROM game, and they took the cutscenes and just made, however long it was, and they were bootlegging that shit back in Brooklyn. And I was like, what is this? And they was like, oh, that's Goku's father. I'll take it. I want to see what it is. And it literally was like CD-ROM games that they were just burning the freaking animated sequences and putting it together. So it's all chopped.
Stitching it together to make the movie.
Yeah, and so it's all chopped. It's all messed up. You're missing points. I'm like, what's going on? What just happened? What the fuck? And that was before I really got into Dragon Ball and started to understand the whole thing about it. Like, dude, Dragon Ball was the first time I realized, oh, you can have a series, and then when they put out these movies, they have nothing to do with the series. I had no clue. I walked into the spot where I used to get my movies and be like, yo, you got that Dragon Ball Brawly Saga? He goes, what you talking about? I was like, Brawly Saga in Dragon Ball Z? He's like, nah, man, those are movies. What? And that's how I found everything out. And that's how And I loved it. And I loved it to this fucking day. It is definitely like Toonami used to spew in the 90s, in the early 2000s, the greatest action anime of all time. Do you recall that?
It still is to this day.
Do you recall when
I grew up with Toonami airing Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I grew up with the English dub. I still cannot stand to watch the original English dub of Dragon Ball Z as an adult. I much prefer, if I'm going to watch it English dubbed, I'm going to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. But that's just me.
I will say I have, I don't know where they're at, but I have them. The original dubs, the original English dubs of Dead Zone,
with the Ocean Group dubs.
Yes.
World's Strongest. And Tree of Might.
Yes. I have the original tapes. I have them, the English dubs, and I've got to be honest. I prefer that.
Yes, because the thing about that, I can go full Dragon Ball Z fanboy on you right now, okay?
Please
the
do,
thing about those tapes is that those tapes were made with the intention of them being like straight to VHS tapes and not air on TV. Because the Ocean dub is very censored when it came to those original 53 episodes, going from Raditz's arrival all the way up to Goku defeats Raccoon. And those 53 episodes were heavily censored, heavily edited to be more kid friendly for syndication purposes. But those 3 movies, dubbed by that same group, were given a lot more lax because they weren't supposed to air on TV. They were just supposed to be on tape, sold in stores and stuff like that. So it's not only that they didn't even put as much effort in soundtrack wise, because the Ocean dub has its own soundtrack when it comes to the actual show, but they just kept the original Japanese Shusuke Kikuchi score on those tapes. And that's the first time Americans heard Shusuke Kikuchi's score.
That's true
for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's true, because if I'm not mistaken, you got yeah. You have Shala Head Shala, if I'm not mistaken, as the opening. It's been so long. 30 plus years on that one. That's how long it's been since I've seen that. And I don't...
And the voice actors actually put in a little more effort because they treated these like movies rather than a TV show. And that's why probably the Ocean dub versions of those 3 movies specifically, I actually prefer watching those even more than the Funimation redubs that they did years later.
Yeah, and that was it. You just hit it on the head. It does feel, because anime at that time, the anime I was watching, I wasn't watching Dragon Ball, but the anime I was watching was a lot more movies. It was the Akiras, it was Ninja Scrolls, it was, Fist of the North Star, Vampire Hunter D. I was watching more animated movies. So you're absolutely right. Now, as soon as you said it, I'm like, that's it. It definitely felt like we're getting paid more to do this, so let's go. Because I'll never forget it. It was Krillin. Krillin stood out. I was like, I like this voice. I like Krillin's voice. Goku was Goku. I love this Goku. When whoever started, and it's the same character, right? Like the same dude voiced Goku for all of this, correct?
No, actually, the Ocean Group, when it comes to Goku, he's gone through 3 voice actors.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So then I am busted when it comes to Goku, because the Goku on those I really dug, and he really, to me, it sounds like the Goku that's been doing it for the past 20 years.
Yeah, yes. No, Sean Schemmel actually didn't start voicing Goku until Funimation started to do the thing with Toonami and starting to dub the episodes in-house after Goku defeated Raccoon, because the Ocean Group just did not dub those episodes afterwards. Actually, in Canada only is when the Ocean Group came back, and that was with the Android saga. They skipped Frieza.
Wait a minute. So wait. So are you telling me right now, floating around out there, are some bootlegs from Canada with those original Ocean Group actors?
Yes.
Come on, man. We can't be serious.
From the androids all the way to the end of Boo.
Stop. They really just fucked Frieza over like that, though?
They did.
Come on, listen. Oh, but Frieza is the penultimate saga, but that is it. Like, Frieza sets everything off, because if it wasn't for Frieza, we don't get Super Saiyans. How could they ruin that? How could they miss that? Oh, my God. But, oh, dude.
I think the explanation was up until the Ocean Group reintroduced themselves for the Android saga, they were just showing the American dubbed with Sean Schemmel and all them, and Chris Sabat and all them, those episodes in Canada. And then the Ocean Group picked back up with their own voice actors from the original dubbed and continued from there.
All right, so let me ask you, have you ever gotten to see any of these or hear any of, like...
I've seen snippets and clips on YouTube, but I haven't gone out of my way to track down the entire dub myself.
Okay, does it fit like the original, whatever that was, like 100 episodes?
Majin Vegeta's speech with the original Vegeta voice actor Brian Drummond hits different.
See, and that's the thing, and I knew it because Vegeta, that was it. When I first heard Vegeta, I was like, oh my God. And that's what made me love him. Now, I was watching these Japanese versions, but at the same time, so when I got into Dragon Ball, it was through the movies. I didn't see the show yet. My buddy, I love this dude to death, he said, watch these. And it was the Broly movies. And I was like, holy shit, but again, these were all in Japanese. Then, you know, those three original movies, Vegeta's not there yet. It's the Z Warriors, and the Z Warriors only. So when I started to watch Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network, and I was only watching bits and pieces, I didn't get into it, because at this point now, I was kind of spoiled with the Japanese version. So that's what I was trying to fucking get, right? I was like, that's it. But Vegeta, I said, good God. And then when I go back and I start to watch it again, like when it was like, I guess the Funimation dub, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I mean, like, I was like, is it him? Is it not? I can't explain it, but it's so wrong. It was wrong to me. It was wrong.
This is why I love Dragon Ball Super and its dub, because
what do you mean?
You kept up with Super when it was coming out, right?
There's no reason to watch Super dubbed. Zero reason to watch Super dubbed.
There is actually a reason to watch one particular episode of Super dubbed, and that is the Copycat Vegeta episode. You remember that episode with the Jelly Vegeta?
No. Are you telling me right now that what they did is they gave fanboys and girls everything that fanboys and girls wanted? They brought back the Ocean guy dub? The Ocean...
They brought back Brian Drummond, the Ocean dub voice of Vegeta, and made him do the voice of the Copycat Vegeta.
You see, man? I ain't know that. I'm gonna bring tears to my eyeballs, bro. That is gorgeous. That's what it's all about, Gam Gam. That's what it's all about, Gam Gam.
That's what it's all about.
Giving back to the fandom. They love you, and they say, you know what? We're gonna do this for you. Here you go. Good God Almighty. Oh, man, I can't tell you how much that means to me, man. That's dope. That's dope. Now, I'm pretty sure he doesn't sound the same. Like, no, let me rephrase that. He's gonna sound the same way, obviously, but I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna have the same. There was a grit and grime to that original Vegeta. What? Are you serious?
He has not lost his touch one bit. I watched that episode like about a year or so ago with my then roommate at the time, and ooh boy, that was an episode to watch.
So he was hitting it. It was the old Vegeta.
Hitting it.
Oh my God!
Just when he was challenging Kakarot. Oh,
see, that was it. That was it. hearing Kakarot, like just hearing it, I'm like, that's why Vegeta's my favorite. His arc is one thing, but the voice, it was the voice. The Japanese voice actor for Vegeta, it's peanut butter and jelly with him and Goku. It's peanut butter and jelly.
I will have to send you the Brian Drummond version of the Majin Vegeta speech. It's different.
Yeah. Listen, I can't. Yeah, I need it. I need it. I need.
You were telling me earlier before we started this podcast that you never played Kakarot, DBZ Kakarot, the game, that is.
No, I've never played it, and the reason why is because while I love the cell shading aspect, I love when you can play a video game and it looks like a cartoon, right? Like a legit cartoon. Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker was the first time. Let me rephrase it. I'll go back a bit. I think it was called Flashback on the Genesis, where it was like a cartoon, but everything moved smoothly, and I was like, that's amazing. Game was hard as fuck. I didn't understand it. But it wasn't until Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and I didn't play any Zelda games. But that one caught my eye because I was like, look how cool this looks, right? I appreciate... It's Bandai that's making these games, right?
Yes, it's being produced by Bandai because Bandai is the license holder for anything and everything Dragon Ball merchandise related, including video games.
Okay.
And the actual developers of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is CyberConnect 2, who are most well known for their work on the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Again, same type of deal. So that's what I wanted to know, because like with fighters, I got fighters because I was like, okay, it's a Dragon Ball Z fighting game. That's simple, right? I like fighters. I want to be able to throw Kamehamehas or Big Bang attacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do that. I love that. And then it was a fighting game that looked like the cartoon. Like, I can legitimately control the cell animations. And I'm blown away by that. I have no idea why, but that just blows my mind. So when I see Kakarot and I see that, like, oh my god, I can actually play the anime. Like, I can play it. I want it. But at the same time, it's the role-playing stuff. I don't get into that stuff. And that's what kills me. So if you was to say, for a game I'm playing right now, currently playing right now, if you were to say, listen, it's Dragon Ball, it is role-playing, yes, but it's role-playing like Horizon Zero Dawn, I'd be like, well, fuck me, I'm going to go buy it right now.
It is a action RPG where it is not turn-based. You go around these huge maps representing the various locales on Dragon Ball's Earth. Okay. And you play through the story of Dragon Ball Z from the arrival of Raditz. This is just the main campaign, all the way up to the defeat of Majin Buu. And its battle system is a lot like, kind of like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi games.
Okay.
But it's not a fighting game. It's a single-player experience where you're just, mashing the combos, doing the special moves.
Right.
And dodging the opponent's special moves and all that. And its main driving aspect is the spectacle of it. It's capturing those iconic moments, except for Vegeta's final flash against Perfect Cell.
No.
That is the one thing that they skipped, and I'm kind of mad about that because they wanted the player to do it themselves rather than have it be a cutscene.
Okay.
That was the angle they were going for with that scene. But yeah, it's got the flashiness. And the RPG aspect is not even that intrusive because you don't need to interact with it that much outside of healing potions.
Okay.
That's all I needed throughout my experience with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is just healing potions.
I'm sorry, you say healing potions. You sure you didn't mean to say senzu beans?
Well, yeah, senzu beans, but there's also these sodas that you can drink that heal you.
Okay. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, they're not actually called healing potions, but they're healing potions.
Gotcha. Just pick up the damn turkey and eat it. Your fucking health will come back.
Yes, pretty much.
Gotcha. It's funny too because for 2 years now, that thing will be on sale. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And I'm always like, but am I going to actually play it? Because I bought Fighters, right? Like I said, I bought it. I bought the fucking golden. I bought the Ultimate Edition where, all the DLC that came with it, I was getting. And I got it for dirt cheap, and that was great. But I rarely play it. And it's not for a lack of fun, because I think it's a fucking hell of a game. But it's those RPG elements to get to places in the very beginning. It's like a training. I just want to fight. And I don't want to fight like arcade style. I want to go progress through the story. But in order to progress through the story, apparently, I got to go through training and this and that. Just let me mash buttons and move the joystick around. I'll figure it out. Everything's a Hadouken. Everything.
The most RPG thing about Kakarot is the fact that it has side quests, and the side quests are actually really fun because they always involve someone who's not really prominent in the show itself. Like, Launch is still a character in this game, and she's still there, and you can talk to her. It's fun.
Oh my god.
You remember Launch, Dragon Ball? Not very many people do.
I do, actually. Is Mr. Popo in here?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Dende becomes Kami?
Yes, he does.
Okay. You see, it's these little things, man. It's the little things. Man, you know what we really need? We need a Dragon Ball game where it's just like everybody's Uzaru, and that's it. And just like a giant kaiju Dragon Ball game. That's what I want. I want it.
Right.
I just want to be
that'd be fun.
I want to be a Super Saiyan Uzaru destroying a planet. That sounds like fun. It also sounds...
We thought that's another reason why I gave the Bardock DLC a lack of a point. Why it's a 9 out of 10 and not a 10 out of 10. Because if you know the Bardock special, it basically starts with Bardock and his crew being giant Ozarus and destroying the planet.
Right.
And you get to that point in the Bardock DLC, but it's just a cutscene. You cannot play as the giant ape.
Wasn't there a fighter on PS2 where you could actually play as Uzaru?
Yes, those were the Budokai Tenkaichi games.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh. I think I
practically anybody who was a Saiyan, like Bardock, King Vegeta, Nappa, all of them could become Ozarus in that game.
It's crazy. Dragon Ball, the show that will not go away, and I ain't mad at it because I want more. Speaking of which, where's the next arc? Where's the Broly arc? Where's the superhero arc?
Apparently the show's coming back this year, and apparently it's going to be adapting both everything that we've seen movie-wise, Broly and superhero, and everything we've seen in the manga, that being the Moro arc and this recent arc called the Granola arc.
Oh my god. All right, I'm ready. But you see, you got to get it done. Listen, I, again, apologize for not knowing the name, but Goku's voice actress, she's no spring chicken. She's a national treasure, and she should be guarded with everything, but she's no spring chicken. And honestly, once she goes, I go. I can't do it no more. Like, I just, there won't be another one. There won't be another Goku. No matter how many times you do it.
Very true.
And it's sad, but it's an eventuality that's going to happen. Dragon Ball is a spectacle that's been around for fucking 40 years almost.
Yeah, it's been around since technically Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, right. Not Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball
is a property from the Showa era.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. When did it come out? Like
83.
Okay, 40 years this year. 40 fucking years old this year. We got to get this wrapped up. We gotta wrap it up. We've got to wrap it up. I mean, I look at shit like One Piece, and I'm like, they're at 1,000 what episodes? Oh my God, it's crazy. But they don't stop, you know. That shit just keeps churning and churning. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, we went from Gamera to Godzilla statues to a dope tangent on Dragon Ball, and I gotta say, I loved every single moment of it.
Thank you so much. I had a lot to say today.
Yeah. So, unless you have anything else you want to drop, I think we're ready to rock and roll out.
Yep, I think I'm good now. I said my piece. Please, fandom, just be better.
That's right.
Be better. It's just an iguana. Get over yourselves.
It really is just an iguana. Toho has acknowledged it. Acknowledged that Toho has acknowledged it. Why do you need to have a voice in this when Toho already laid the law down? People, come on. We want Godzilla to succeed. And Zilla is not Godzilla. Come on. It don't matter what the box says. It don't matter what your DVD or Blu-ray says. Your 4K. It doesn't matter. We know what Toho said. And Sony said, you win. So let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. Thank you all for joining us. I want to say thank you, Gam Gam, for joining us joining me on the first episode of our show. Hopefully we can do more of these.
Yes, hopefully we can do more.
And
talk about all sorts of stuff. You know, we got a lot in common.
We do. There's a shit. I mean, fuck. We could have Dragon Balled it for 2 fucking hours.
We could have.
And of course, I want to thank everybody out there for taking your time, listening to us, and hopefully having a good time. And again, like Gam Gam said, it's just a name. It's not real. That'll do it for this episode. Very first episode of the G1 and Z1 show. I am G1. That is Z. That is Z1.
Oh, I'm Z1. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll get to it. We'll get it. Trust me, by episode 3, we'll have it down pat. We are out of here.
Heck yeah.
Peace.